ain't getting no sleep. just gotta live with it. Real life. You ain't gotta like it. Look at what we did with it. Real life. You ain't gotta like it. You just gotta live with it. Real life. You ain't gotta like it. Look at what we did with it. Real life. You ain't gotta like it. You just gotta live with it. Real life. You ain't gotta like it. Look at what we did with it. Real life. You ain't gotta like it. You just gotta live with it. Look at what we did with it. You ain't gotta like it. You just gotta live with it. Look at what we did with it. Real life. You ain't gotta like it. You just gotta live with it. Real life. You ain't gotta like it. Look at what we did with it. Real life. You ain't gotta like it. You just gotta live with it. Real life. You ain't gotta like it. Look at what we did with it. Real life. You ain't gotta like it. You just gotta live with it. Real life. You ain't gotta like it.
Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. 109,000 Bitcoin. And last night we called a bit of a punch to the upside. We got it. The guy said, I don't trust a man with a suit. Don't worry, I don't wear suits. I wear pants with unmatching jackets. So I don't wear suits. Don't worry about it. I wear J. Crew pants and a jacket most of the time. I don't wear suits. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here, sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Welcome to The Crypto Library Show, baby. How you doing? How is everybody handling these ups and downs in the market? Let's break it down. I'm drinking coffee today. I have broken my 3-day water fast. It was amazing. I went from Sunday night all the way to Wednesday night. And last night I had a little bit of yogurt and some blueberries, and I'll be eating very scarcely today. It's not like you go back to eating immediately. You take a shot, you take a chance. So shout out to everybody here, 109,000. Dang, man, we were looking pretty sweet on the uptrend here for Bitcoin. I had a nice trade in this flag, and we are actually up. A second ago, I went to go put on my tie. Everything was looking actually pretty nice. We got it's weird. I thought we got a 1 hour. Oh, yeah, the 1 hour candle closed green, and then we had this follow through, and now we're getting a dump right back to the downside, down 100. I was up probably about $400, man. Just a second ago, literally, I went to go put my tie on, and I came back to the stream. So it is what it is. Shout out to everybody here. Let's break down Bitcoin. Let's do our top-down analysis. I'm looking for this flag. Last night, I saw my model on the 1 minute time frame, and I gave it to the trading group. I talked about it today on Twitter, but this is my model right here. Number one, you can do one of two things. Right when we cross the 200, you can get in. If the 21's on the other side. If the 21's not on the other side, I'm always a little sketched out by it. And then once we flag out and the 21 touches, specifically after a dump there, you get this reversal. And I was able to trade this to the upside and make gains. And then I gave this trade to the group on the 15 minute, and it did pump. But when I woke up this morning, we were kind of forming this falling wedge. Looked like we could break out. We did. And now we're kind of coming back down. So Bitcoin's playing games. It is a Thursday. It's not my favorite day to trade. The liquidity gets lighter on Thursday. Less people have made it through the markets. They've liquidated a lot. And so you've uplifted my spirits, and for real, much love, brother. Shout out to the Blues guy. Hey, man, my mom died on Thanksgiving, and I thought about it last night, and I said, I used to say, God, how could you take my mom on Thanksgiving? And I said, man, you took her with her whole family. What a blessing, right? And so if I can find solace in my mom dying in front of me on Thanksgiving, then you can find every day to be special and every day to be beautiful. You know what I mean? Like, there's just no reason. Like, if I can turn that into a beautiful thing, then you can turn every day into something beautiful. Like, let that inspire you. I never got sour. I never cursed God. I got there was some anger at the beginning. Why me? Why my family? How could this happen to us? How do you just kill my parents in 18 months? In 7 months. They died 7 months apart. Like, everything was going well. I thought my mom and dad were going to be here for 10 years to see my grandkids and my kids, and I thought I was going to be able to take them to Florida. I moved to Florida. I never got to take my parents to Florida, not once. They never came to visit. They never saw the house. They never saw any of the success that I got, everybody. They didn't see 100K channel. They saw from above, right? But anyway, let's not get into it today. But I just want to say we got to stay positive. We got to be our best friends. Nobody's going to be there to pick me up when I'm down and depressed, crying about my mom and dad. Like, nobody cares. I mean, people are going to say, hey, Sam, don't worry. And the lifers, you guys care. I don't, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, like, no one can pick me up is what I mean. No one can get me back on my good graces. No one can get me pushing. It's up to me. Just like when you lose a bunch of trades, no one can get you back on the horse but you. You go through a liquidation, you get wrecked, you mess up. No one can get you back except for you. You're the only person that can truly pick yourself up. No one can pick you up. Right? So every day, pick yourself up. Every day, believe that you are the positive energy that brings the light to the earth, that helps other people. Do things for others, and you'll know you're valuable. Value comes from helping others. When I help someone else, I know I'm valuable. Amen. Right? Let's take a look here at the monthly chart and see what's happening on the monthly. So we have a lot of bears out here. We have a lot of bearish talk, and wicks of the monthly aren't good. We've got let's go over all the bearish stuff, because I don't always do that. One, you got, to me, looks a bit like bearish diff. But it's not too bad. One thing I will say is the monthly usually gets extended up here. The divergence usually occurs up this high, you know what I mean? But you never know. Nothing's guaranteed here in trading. But, in general, we would have a bigger push up on the RSI, in general. So that's one battle, but again, bearish divergence, rising wedge, and rising wedges break down 68% of the time to where they began, which means we would be headed back to 82,005 on the monthly. So that's just kind of, that's the bearish scenario. You have a bearish div there. You're overbought in the stochastics RSI. They're curving down. Everything doesn't look too amazing, right? It looks a little bearish, don't it? So that's the bearish scenario, but I'm a 1 day, 1 candle, 1 step at a time kind of guy. And so I could see bigger pictures, and for sure you could start to open up a short right now if you may choose so. I think there's better ways to trade this market than to have to sit on a long for weeks at a time and hope to be right. I believe we can take trades every day. Long or short, short or long, we can day trade this market and get even more out of it, right? We got to be precise. We got to be really disciplined, and we got to work at it every single day. But we can get more than the average Joe if we push ourselves. So, and again, I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I say and do should be taken as financial advice, as you can see from the middle section there. But again, God bless you and for being here. But I can educate you. I can teach you about technical analysis, support and resistance, the ups and downs, candle bodies, and more. So, dang, man, Bitcoin dumping. Not looking good right now. 108,750. Seems like that right shoulder of the 1 hour could be completing. Let's break down this top down so we can get back to the price action right now. But I'm seeing 108.7, which means I'm slipping. Oof. It came to challenge the 200 moving average immediately. Not a good sign. That's not what I'm looking for. That's got to get back above the 200 fast and furiously. Otherwise, that is a dump. And that is that right shoulder on the 1 hour time frame. You got to heed that, right? You can't act like you don't see that. You can't say, oh, I just don't see that. You know, that could have been the perfect short on the pump last night. Again, I'm not an expert at shorting. I do short the market, but I'm an expert at what I do, which is catching a reversal model. I'm an expert at catching a reversal model, seeing the daily bottom. Like that's what I'm amazing at. I'm amazing at catching the daily bottom. Like that's just kind of what the market trained me to do. It's the time frame I went live. It happened to be the daily bottom all the time. So it kind of trained me to trade that way. You have to understand, like, even the time frames you trade all the time will teach you more. I'm always here between 10 and 12, right? And on the weekdays. So I see exactly showing up at the same time can be a benefit. Doing anything the same over time can be a benefit because you start to see the nuances in the changes of that time and you can tweak, accordingly. Anyway, 108.8, pretty nice area to be in so far though. But let's get back to the bigger time frame. And you can see, like, I don't want us losing that anyway. So as long as the monthly stays above monthly support or resistance, which I've talked about, and I'll talk about every single day, we're bullish, right? Like, you're bullish because you're above support. Once you end up below support, I would have to start assuming we would come to test 102.4, which we basically came very close to in that massive dip. I don't like this wick all the way back down. The monthly, the fact that this has been the same month that when I was in Singapore, it's almost been a long month. Like, it's only 10/23. It feels like the month is dragging on. You know? I'm like, it's still October. We've been in October for years. You ever felt like 1 month can act like a day and 1 month can act like a year? So here we are, right? Can we get, you don't want to see a monthly candle close below 108. And I've been saying the levels, but let's get the exact there. When did this candle open? Yeah, 108.3. I call it 108.3. Because it's 108,299. So, okay, we stay above 108,000. The second this monthly closes below, I become bearish, and I do start looking to trade down to 102. If we look at BOOKMAP suggests we could go either way. It's got liquidity at 114 and 118. It's got liquidity at 104 and 102. I'll tell you what, it's deeper red up here than it is down here. What does that tell us? It tells us that there's a good chance we go, the largest red that's closest is 114. So we usually take out the closest red. This one ain't that far though at 101, but this one's a lot closer. It's only 5,000, right? So it's more likely that we take out 114 than anything else. That's just what BOOKMAP is telling you. You do whatever you want. And if you watch me trade BOOKMAP for years, then you know this. I don't think I did my hair at all, right? Just kind of whatevers. Have to live do my hair. I wasn't in, my wife wasn't here today. So she would have said, Sam, your hair's not done. And I was just like, whatevers. I just get into it. I get right into the charts. But yeah, to the guy who says he doesn't wear someone wearing suits, I don't wear suits. Yeah, I wear suit jackets with mismatching pants. Right? Like this khaki ensemble with this beautiful gray jacket. All right, and this gray shirt, which is clearly not a suit, right? Clearly. But you would never know because you only see me from up here. So everyone assumes I'm wearing a suit. I do not wear suits. I wear, gray pants, blue pants. I have like 10 different colored pants and I mismatch them all to look cool. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. I don't give a dang. I just want you to know I'm not that into it. I wear the suits to make the show look good. David Letterman got to wear a suit every day on his show. How come I can't? You know what I mean? All the cool people. Jesse Waters gets to wear a suit on his show. Tucker Carlson wore a suit on his, all the coolest people that had big followings. They got to wear a suit every day. How come I can't wear a suit every day and look fresh? You know what I mean? Respect myself and feel good. My grandfather also wore a suit every day. My dad told me even when he was a bricklayer, he'd take it off in the trailer, put it back on, drive home. Like, my grandfather was a stickler for looking nice. I saw all his pictures, so I wear the suit also to represent my grandpa. To tell him, hey, Harold, I love you. I'm going to act just like you did, baby. My dad also dressed dapper. He had multiple ties. He gave me 100 ties when he died, my dad did. So you can only assume how many times he liked to get dressed up. So I just come from three men that dress nice, man. And so I don't come from scrubbery. I'm sorry to say, I come from men that really cared about how they looked when they left the house. A lot of respect. And so I carry on that tradition. And I'm leaving the house right now because you guys are all seeing me. Anyway, who cares? Let's get back into this stuff. But some people want to know why I wear the suits. There's more to it than just why a lot of other people wear a suit. It means something to me. It's part of my heritage. It's part of my life. It's part of my legacy. So this is still bullish as long as the monthly can close well above 1083. Again, indecision doji is bearish at the top of a run. I'll tell you that. I'm not loving this. I want to let you know I'm not loving this. I'm just showing you what each step to bullishness. All right. Lifer, I've been accumulating as much Bitcoin as possible. Would you DCA here or wait a bit for a possible pullback? I would never tell you what to do, Gabriel. You got to be happy with what you've been doing. I truly believe any day is a day to DCA into Bitcoin. There's days to go harder. I'll tell you that. And there's days to go softer, depending on the fear and greed. But anytime we're below 30, I'm in there like swimwear. You know what I mean? But if I get into the 20s, it's 5 to 10,000. You know what I mean? Up here, it's maybe $1,000 a day, 500 a day. I buy Bitcoin almost every day, though. You know, I always am mindful to buy some Bitcoin. You know what? Let's do it together. Right? Speaking of such, let's buy some Bitcoin. Let's just have some fun. Right? Let's go over the weeks, which are up $37 on the trade. And we might be back in the green here too as well. We are 171, so now we're up about 200. Let's go over to spot on weeks. Shout out to Andy. God bless you, Andy. Clip this out for Andy. I love that guy, man. The COO of Weeks, one of the nicest gentlemen you've ever met. Flew me around the world, bought me dinners, like nothing but respect, like never had to, but was like, you know what? I'm going to push the olive branch. I'm going to say, and what a blessed man. So I just want to let you know, the people that run Weeks, awesome people, man. They earn my respect and love, like they did. And I know you're like, let's just exchange, and you're just a trader, Sam, and nobody cares about anybody in this space, and I get it. But man, some people actually do. Some people go a little further than the other people, and Andy has always done that for me. So, and I guess I'm easy. I'm an easy date. You know what I mean? Not many people have done things for me in my life, honestly. So when someone does something for me, it hits me hard. It hits me hard because in my lifetime, barely anyone is like, I mean, I don't want to say that. My parents, I've had teachers, but like to really go out of their way for you and say, hey, let me take care of your hotel room. Don't worry about it. You know what I mean? Just stuff like that. Super nice. All right, so we're looking at BTC. And I'd like to buy, about, I don't know, $1,300 worth of Bitcoin. Seems like the smart $1,200. Yeah, $1,300. Don't be greedy, Sam. Seems like the smart decision, right? At like 109,413. And there we go. We got some Bitcoin on the order book there. And that should get bought up. If you ever really want it, you don't have the time, and you're afraid it won't come back down, because it's big. To me, it's Bitcoin. But I should get my 413 order. Like, it's dancing around. I feel like we should be able to get it. Shout out Full IQ under IG Crypto. God bless you, man. Shout out to that Blues guy. Shout out to Full IQ Underground Crypto. Yeah, Underground Crypto's been amazing. So there we go. We buy some Bitcoin every day, right? And we stash that for years and years to come. All right? You're awesome, Sam. Shout out Full yeah. He didn't spit a dime on me because I'm not bringing him customers, making him more money. Yeah. God bless you, brother. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. What's the TA behind that buy? Yeah, but what you want to know is instead of getting like jealous or writing a comment like that, you want to say, well, how did it happen? How did Sam get blessed? How did Sam travel the world? What did Sam do? They say, well, Sam showed up in his t-shirt and made a video. Then he kept showing up, and then he never stopped showing up. Yepe got demolished. I'd stay away from that thing. Yikes. Unless you dig, maybe it could come back. I don't know. That looks beat to the ground. So the monthly looks interesting to me. I like what we're seeing here on the monthly. Bitcoin's getting back in good graces at 109.3. Our trade's back in the green. We can breathe easy for a second here. And there's a chance, it looks like we're likely headed to 115. 114 right there. 114,100 is the liquidity zone. My daughter has a softball game today. Maybe pray that her team wins, and she does well. All right. So we got to stay above that key level. Let's take a look at the weekly. Actually, I like the 2-week today. I talked about it because it bounced off the 21-day moving average. Bouncing off the 21 right there, coming near it or getting the bounce, every time has been the catalyst for the continuation. Here, it was the beginning of the run. Here, we bounced off right there for your first, like a beautiful entry. Here, we came back and hovered for a beautiful entry. Here, we came back, wicked it, but got back above. And here we are again, touching it, hanging out near it. Every time we've been near the 21 on the 2-week. It's been a catalyst for a move to the upside. Interesting, right? Understand, I know the bearish sentiment. I know things may not be perfect. But my skill is doing this every single day. Staying calm, cool, and collected, and being able to buy. I buy Bitcoin at the best times. You guys saw me buy the 19K. You saw me buy 84,000. That's when I buy whole Bitcoins. There's times when I'm putting 80K into Bitcoin, 100K into Bitcoin. You know what I mean? 150,000 into Bitcoin. Like, you guys saw when we went into those bearish times, I piled 150K into Bitcoin. I did, between 74 and maybe even more. I think I piled a little more. I think it was around 200. I went hard, okay? And I'm willing to go up and down with it. Like, I'm willing to have a 10-year conviction to that plan and stick with it no matter what. I know I can hustle. I won't have to sell my BTC, right? I found discipline. I found a hustle. Once you have discipline and a hustle, you won't have to worry about selling your assets. The only people that sell their assets are people that get lazy, stop making money. Sometimes something happens, though. They get into an accident. I get it. Life can throw curveballs at you. But I'll tell you what. My dad made me strong, and no matter what curveball was thrown at me, I never sold my BTCs. Like, it didn't matter how bad it was. I knew I had to just eat nothing. Like, I would have to live on the street. I knew it. Like, I would live on the street and pray that something else would happen before I sold my Bitcoins. I see people, and they're like, I'm taking profits on Bitcoin here, and I'm always like, are you like, do you not understand what's going on? Like, do you not, like, I'm like, I don't, I get it. My mind's already locked in for the next 10 years. I don't question it. Just like 10 years ago when I said Bitcoin was going to 100K and people thought I was crazy, 7-9 years ago. So again, the weekly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, you assume once you're inside of a channel that you'll stay inside the channel. That's the assumption. Again, high, low, higher high, higher low. No, it's even a higher low to that. So is there a change in trend per se right now on the weekly? I don't see it. You could say, no, we lost that low. I'd say, okay, I guess you're right. Yeah, it is a slight change in trend. It should say we get a lower high and then we don't. So it's sketchy. There is a trend change there. Like, we did break that low, which I'm not a fan of. But it's acting somewhat double bottomy. You see what I'm saying on the weekly? And I talked about this and went over it too on the lot. Again, what is this? This is a broken pattern. They break it out. They break back inside. The pattern still stays the same. Broken pattern theory. All right. It's a thing that I do that a lot of people don't do. I've been doing it for a long, long time. This also has the feelings and the vibes of a Sammy cup and handy. As you can see, there's your cup. There's your handle. They can be double bottomy. It's usually, I've even seen handles slightly lower than the cup, but it's very rare. It's like only 2 or 3% of the time. But this looks beautiful to me too, and we would get a move here out of this cup and handle back to the top of the channel, you see? And that's a double bottom. I mean, you can't say it's not a double bottom. And we're attempting to tweezer bottom here on the weekly, but it's not looking amazing. For me personally, what I believe has to happen for us to have like the momentum, you got to get this weekly candle. And look, see how it's not even a tweezer bottom? It's like weird. It opened. Hold on, that ain't right. Hold on. That's not right. When I go to the all-time history index, sometimes it's not correct. See, my mind noticed that. My mind was like, dude, that's not a tweezer bottom. It's weird, right? Yeah, so I guess I can't use the all-time history index for like precise analysis. You seen that? I think my subconscious mind, I was like, dude, it's got to be a tweezer bottom. I'm like, they don't align. I'm like, how come they didn't align? Like, so there's a tweezer bottom on the weekly. You know, I'll tell you right now, you get in here with a stop below this wick and you just, you know, close that and act like you don't know it's there. Come back to it in 3 weeks. You may be in some serious gains. And that's basically you're front running the weekly bottom. Again, it's high risk as heck. But there's low risk to reward there. 5 to 1, 7 to 1, 6 to 1 if you get to the top of the channel. So I go after things that have high risk and lower risk and high reward. If you do that over and over again, when you lose small. When you win big. Think about it. So I attack those situations over and over again. And again, you get better at it. It's almost like being in battle. Like you learn how to basically precisely chop up your enemy. And as you go into more and more battles, there's probably minuscule moves you can make that make it even higher probability that you're going to win. Like I lean back and I go here. And if I put my shield up with this down, and you start to fine tune your slicing ability. People are like, what just happened? You just got entertained. That's what happened. I'm playing with your funny bone as well as your financial bone. So look, so a double bottom here on the weekly, right? And that's what makes the show different. This show is not just technical analysis. The show is actual entertainment. I'm an entertainer. I've been an entertainer my whole life. I've been dying to be on stage my whole life. Let's be honest, right? I was a class clown. I was that kid that always wanted attention. It is what it is. I'm never going to shy away from that fact. So I use that will and that want to do this, to teach. Because I could just be doing rap or whatever, something else, right? But I moved it into something more educational. 5-day chart getting a bounce. It looks strong. And this theory that we're in this falling wedge here that could break to the upside is still pending on my mind. It still looks legit to me, right? My financial back is broken, spinal. God bless you, man. We love you. Bitcoin getting the move to the upside, everybody. We are in the Gwains. We're in the Gwains again. And now this flag looks like it's going to take off. It looks like we nailed the trade today. And this could make us some serious gains. I could be making $2,000 to $3,000 today. This thing continues to rip. I gave this trade to the trading group this morning. And you're like, how does this guy show up every day? I don't even know. I look at myself from outside and I'm like, how did you show up every day and make a gain? You know what I mean? Like, I'm like you guys sitting here watching the lifer and I'm watching the screen and I'm like, this guy shows up yesterday. This guy shows up the day before. Like, how does he constantly hit a green? Like, I don't get it. He was green last night. He made $980 in 40 minutes last night in the trading group. I did. I made $1,000 in under 40 minutes. I think it turned my wife on because she immediately, I was like, babe, look what I just did. And she was like, whoa. I was like, I'm the lifer, baby. And she was like, wow, let me just, and she started rubbing my back. And, next thing you know, we were on the count. Oh my God. Too much information. You know what I mean? You ever make a trade in front of your wife and it gets her hot and heavy? It's happened to me. It might just happen to you one day. Keep trading. Hey, sorry to sorry to the young kids watching. You know what I mean? But hey, I love my wife, man. If you don't love your wife, I think of making love to my wife all the time. Like, she's so sweet and beautiful. Sorry, I'm sorry. I got to keep this stuff to myself. I got to be a good Christian man and not do that. But man, I'm a lover, not a fighter. And I got to tell you, man, very fulfilling. That's all I got to say. 5-day chart looks good. The 3-day chart looks good to me. And it's oversold. This is where we could start to get a bounce. And it's right on resistance. So you got a support or resistance flip. You're on a point of control. Look, you're on a POC right there, 1089. This 108 area is so crucial. You can see on the monthly how big it is. The daily, looking for this possible double bottom. The daily, back above the 200 moving average. I talk about this. You could enter now with a stop below this red wick, and there's a chance that becomes the low. Also, a bit of an inverted, slanted head and shoulder. A drunken, slanted, inverted head and shoulder. Booming to the upside, right? That's not Sam. That's the caffeine talking. I know. I guess the caffeine makes you horny. Insane, man. My bad. I'm getting crazy. You know what it was? Is fasting for 3 days and I'd be like, let's make love. And my wife was like, I don't want to make love to a monk. Like, I can't make love to you until you eat some food. And I was like, why? Like, what's going on? Like, there's nothing. She's like, you're a monk. Like, you don't do anything. You sit quietly all day today. Like, you barely move. I was like, yo, this is what it is. You know, I'm a monk, babe. I was like, you can bang a monk, bro. Oh, man, you gotta have fun with life. So shoulder, head, and shoulder. Bit of a cup and handle here, too, for my friend, Master. Yes, my friend, Master Friend. See how I did that? My friend, Master Friend. Well, look, let's pull a fib wick to wick, and let's talk about this 618 fib retracement. Fine, let's take the wick here. Let's talk about this 886 retrace. I mean, this is special. 1 to 2 to the 618. 1 to the 2 to the... Someone hit that 618. And that's on the 22-hour time frame. That's a pretty big time frame, 618. Okay? So there you have it. Okay? I'm rolling. Love it here. Yeah. What are the stochastics on the bottom? I said F a monk because it sounded better, muck. I'll call it muck, but muck a monk. I was like, you can muck a monk. I was like, what's wrong? Like, you can muck a monk, dude. Monks like to muck. Shout out to Muck. Shout out to the Muck Bear. I don't think you're gonna have to cut off that trade, Muck. I think, Master Friend, can you have a one-on-one with Muck for me? Muck, sit with Master Friend, man. You guys should just Muck, could you seriously do that for me, guys? Could you guys get together? He has an ETH trade. I don't think he cut it off yet. He has not lost a trade in months. I don't think ever since he started your system, he hasn't lost a trade, bro. And yesterday he was close to cutting it off. And there's a chance if he just mitigates through and he figures it out, he'll be monks need love too, man. You gotta love a monk. She's calling me a monk. She's like, I can't. You're a monk. She was making fun of me, man. My wife's a baddie, man. Straight up. It's so funny. A bad. No. That's not right. Don't call it. Because when you see where, yeah. It sounds funny at first, right? Did I just join the Lifer After Dark stream? Shout out to Andrew Yurkovic. You know what it is? It's the gray suit with the white tie. It makes you feel like a gangster. You know what I mean? Because it's like the gangster look, right? Everyone's like, hey, so you start getting, hey, I see myself in a mirror over there in Streamlabs OBS, and I think I'm like something kind of hot. Hey, I'm like I think I'm a smooth sailor over here. So look, the 4-hour looks good to me. It's rounding oversold, pointing to the upside. The stochastics are aside, want mo. Bitcoin sitting at 109,600, battling, showing signs of going to 113.9 to 114,000 on BOOKMAP. This is a liquidity map, a heat map order book. It shows us where the orders are, and the deeper orders, the more orders, the redder they are. So when there's a lot of orders, it gets really dark red. For whatever, Bitcoin likes to go and hit those orders. So these are basically people that have gone short and have put their stop loss here and here. So they're short and their stop losses are sitting there and they're in limbo now and they're stuck, right? As price action gets towards them, they can't move. And they're likely going to get stopped out or liquidated, right? These are actual liquidations that can occur. And we're going to see live liquidations here on BOOKMAP 2 as well. It's amazing. So I can get it. It's a bit of a cheat code. And whatever the darkest red is the closest where we go. If you don't know how to use this, there's a link to BOOKMAP in the description. I've been using BOOKMAP now for 2 years. How did I use BOOKMAP? They wrote us an email, said we've been watching Sam. When I think I had 40,000 subs or something like that, maybe, I can't remember. Things have happened so fast. And they said, we like Sam. I've never seen someone more accurate. We think he has a tool we could really use. They gave me free access to it. We did have a sponsorship at one point. For whatever reason, it didn't follow through, but now I do still receive commissions. Very small, I have to be honest, but I love BOOKMAP. I use it every day. It works for me. So I barely make any money on it at all, just to let you know. Like, I'm talking, like, if I told you, you know. But I don't care. The key is I love this thing, and it works good for me. I've never been a money-hungry guy. I've been a financial guy. I've been a guy that likes to go after a system and find a system. If that creates a bunch of money and makes you look money hungry, so be it. But I've more been a math guy, a science guy, a philosophy guy. I've always gone after like the what behind the what. I've always asked the questions. And so, That has brought me to wealth, everybody. I have gone after knowledge my whole life, and I've never chased money. I love money. Don't get me wrong. My relationship with money is beautiful, but I don't chase it. I create it. You know, I create opportunity that creates wealth for myself. I don't chase money. You know, I chase knowledge. I chase the ability to be free, and that happens to bring you financial freedom. You know, look, this is a bit of a W here too. That could break you further to the upside. It almost has Adam and Eve vibes, doesn't it? It's like an Adam and Eve with a fake out to the upside there in the middle. So this is starting to tell me that there's a possible bigger move here coming for Bitcoin. All right. I will be wealthy. You don't have to say by any means, because that means literally by any means. And that means you'll do anything, you know? So you're not going to be wealthy by any means. You're going to be wealthy by any honorable means. You want to change one word there. I'll be wealthy by any honorable means, you know, and for sure you will be, man. And may God bless you. So here we are back watching this channel. All right. And you could say technically that we kind of are in this, we're in a bit of a flag here, a symmetrical triangle too, which is not the greatest. We're pretty tight in here. The measured move, it would be basically this level here, this line. All right. It's going to look for this wick to this wick. I can't explain how I know all this, but you just figure it out over time. You just get good at knowing what you don't understand, you know. I just said something that was, trading becomes simple when you get good at knowing the things that you know you don't know. Does that make any sense to you? Right? When you begin knowing the things that you know you don't know. My God, that was profound. Trading becomes more simple when you begin knowing the things that you know you don't know. My gosh. Like, I swear God gives me gems here on this stream. Unbelievable. God bless everybody here on the stream. Thank you for jumping on in. And I forgot to give the lifers. Jump in, lifers. The discipline is not easy. The discipline is hard. I made the 8-minute update this morning, 6-minute update. I think only 200 people watched it. You guys got to put in the work. I know it's different time zones though, so I'll give that out there, but you got to want it. If you don't want it as bad as I do, or desire it as bad as I do, how are you going to get it? You have to remember the universe is giving it to whoever desires it the most, and everyone's got a desire, but the universe can tell who truly, truly wants it more than anybody else. Like, look at my dedication to my live every single day. The universe clearly sees that I'm all about it. So who's going to make the most in the industry? Who's going to basically be one of the biggest winners in crypto? Whoever works the hardest, right? Remember, hard work does pay off. Don't let anybody tell you different. So the 1 hour is now touching the 21. Not yet, actually. Well, it hasn't touched the 21 yet. So the 21 hasn't crossed the 200 yet. That's another reason why we haven't got the, we got to get the cross. But this is bullish to me. This is bullish to me. And look what's happening. Let's talk about it. All right. Let's talk about what happened. We had the massive liquidation, which was insane, right? I'm sitting there at lunch. My buddy says 105. I still can't believe it. That'll be 2 weeks ago now coming up, right? Which is insane. Tomorrow, that'll be 2 weeks ago that we had that dump. Is that correct? I can't believe that. It feels like yesterday, doesn't it? That was 2 weeks ago, everybody? Dude, time is just disappearing. Some would say this is a shoulder, this is a head, and this is kind of a right shoulder to the upside. I'm with that. I'm somewhat with that. Another person can say, so we made a low. We made a lower high. We made the head and shoulder pattern. Look, and we called this dump out the descender. We saw exactly where it was going to go. The descending triangle told us exactly where we're going. It was magnificent, right? Anyway. So then we made the bullish div. We made a low, right? Then remember, I called this flag, and I nailed this flag, if you remember. It was Saturday I started putting it out. I didn't get stopped out, luckily, and we ripped. I called that. What a beautiful, remember? I don't know if you remember, but we nailed that. Then I called the retest. I said, look for it to come and retest off this key level, the top of this. And I got in there, and we pumped. Insane. Then I traded this flag, and I got stopped out that night, and it sucked, right? It was like, but we could see it was a right shoulder. We saw, and we did lose the 200 right there. And I tell you, when we lose the 200, to watch out. It's like if you watch my system closely, it has all these fail safes for you, and I put them everywhere. And it teaches you what you should be looking at. We're at 650 now, everybody. The highest we've been in the trade yet 17% up $415. This is a $80,000 trade, $2,400 in at 33x levy. Do not trade leverage. You don't know what you're doing, please. Or demo trade it for at least a year or two until you get really comfortable. I did not touch leverage for 8 or 9 years. I'm telling you right now, I had already made dang near over like $500,000 to $700,000 off of Bitcoin and a few other investments in my life. And I had been day trading on and off and swing trading for about 8 years in the stock market. Then I got into crypto and traded crypto for 4 years. Then I touched a little bit of levy. Then I left it alone. Then I touched it a little bit. Then I left it alone. And then in the last 3 years, I've been trading 20 years. Thank the Lord. I've been trading 20 years. You know, like I bought a stock when I was 22. I'm 42. So I can't sell you. And then from 22 to 25 or 26, I just was like buying a stock here and there. I didn't know. I had no clue what I was doing. I took it seriously when I was about 27, 28. I started trading gold. I started buying gold and silver. I didn't take trading seriously. I took my financial history. Like I started researching finance. I started researching where the first dollar came from. And I went all the way back to Egypt and I found the first gold coin. And I understood that, you know, and I'll tell you a story later on in the stream about the first gold coin and the first gold holders and what they did to gold. And I'll tell you a little story about gold and the gold holders, and then we'll develop into where we are today. And what I want you to understand is the very basis of life, it changes as we become more and more evolved. We think it changes, but the key concepts never leave. All right. You know what I mean? Like things that were true in ancient Egypt in business are still true today in business. Like successful business theories, they're all the same. If you did exactly what I'm doing now in ancient Egypt, you'd be one of the most successful people of your time. Anyone that did anything every single day to the best of their abilities in front of the world constantly is going to be revered and respected, because that's not easy. And everybody knows that. That's a deep connection that no one can take from you. If you show up every single day, nobody can take that from you. Understand? Like everybody wants it all. Everyone wants to be successful, but nobody can take your work ethic. That is success. Once you know you have discipline, nobody can take it from you. I just want to keep reiterating this because look, today I had discipline. I traded my model. My model tells me to trade on top of the 200 moving average when I'm in a flag. It tell me to wait for the 21 to cross, which means I front-runted my model today, which means maybe I should take some profit. Like maybe I should sell this trade right now. It's looking a little weak. I could take my 360 and call it a day. If it forms better later on, maybe it gets a huge spike and I miss out. Like remember the other day I took $4,000 and I could have made 20? So be it. The key is this account has been growing, and every time I take more green, it continues to grow, right? You look at the smaller time frames to figure out what's going on here. And I mean, this is the model too. We're on the 21 above the 200, making some type of consolidation. It tells me to stay inside the trade a bit and see, but I got my stop loss and I'm watching. Let's get back down to our top-down analysis. So we're back to the 1 hour time frame, right? And remember, we started with the monthly. And I did go through some, stories of my life, and I talked about this and that. But for the most part, we've been going through the top-down analysis. And I've been keeping you entertained. We'd have some fun, right? I laughed a little bit here, too. It was one of the best live streams I've been a part of in a long time. The other guys, like, this is literally, you want a regular crypto live stream? You got to hear the fan on. You got to have some background noise, right? They all have background noise because they don't have good mics. And it's like, shh. And they're like, and you can hear them breathing, right? Because they don't know how to use the mic, right? And they're like, okay, I'm watching for, and they burp like, I'm watching for, to see, this is one of my, and then they sit and they're like, okay. And, I've watched so many live streams, like, I can't take it, man. Like, we got to have a live stream that feels like an entertainment show, that feels like it's pumping, that feels like it's going, something to grow this industry, man. I'll put the industry on my back. We got to get it different. Look how much different this feels. Running with the voice, flying with the music, the tempo bringing you in, right? The feeling of the trade. And it's more than just trading, right? It's a feeling. It's a vibe. Amen, right? Everyone starts somewhere, you streaming snobs. Shout out to you, Bobby T. I love you, man. I love you. Hey, I agree with you. I agree with you on that one. Man, I'm wondering if I should just take my 260 and call it a day. looking a little sketchy, and it looks like I may be able to consolidate here and be able to get back in a couple hours. It is Thursday. It's tight. It's not my favorite day to trade, so it's already got me a little sketched out. This looks like a slanted head and shoulder. You see it? Shoulder, head, right shoulder. That looks like that could take me down, down, down. That's going to have to turn into an inverted head and shoulder here and pop. You see? Gonna have to stay above that 200. I think the smart decision is to move that stop loss up there to break even. And that way I can't lose the trade. And keep myself below the 200 moving average on the 1 minute. If the 1 minute can hold above the 200, I'll stay inside the trade. So I'm going to give up my profits for the day for the ability to possibly make more. I'm going to be humble instead of attempting to take 275 right now. And we'll go from there. And I dang well know I could easily get stopped out. But all I have to do is pay a tiny fee and I'll be fine. MEXC is great. So, and shout out to anyone that trades on MEXC. They have the least fees in the game. They have more coins than anyone I've ever seen. You may have to do something different depending on where you live, but internationally around the world, MEXC is the best, man. It really is. As it comes to fees, liquidity, I've never had my stop loss ran through. Everything has always worked out exactly perfectly, you know? So it's been a seamless process for 3 years straight. I think one time they may, I don't even know though. And recently when a bunch of exchanges have had issues, MEXC has been spot on, man. I have to be honest. It's had no glitches, no issues, no problems. It's been spot on. So, you know, runner up I love too. And, you know, is weeks. I love weeks. That's why I have both my trades on weeks. You see, I bought my Bitcoin got taken there and I bought my Bitcoin today on weeks, right? And I stack on weeks and I keep a nice little, you know, look, I got 1.48 BTC there. So I keep money on exchanges, man. Not all my money, of course, but I do keep money on exchanges. So there you have it. So we're looking for this bounce here, technically above the, I think, see, I got the smooth moving average too. Did I have the smooth? Yeah, I got the smooth moving average here. See the smooth? The smooth, when you get above the 200 and the smooth, it's kind of like, it's like a very strong barrier for entry. When you get above the 200, it's great. But if you get above the 200 and the smooth is really strong. To get above the smooth takes some time. All right, and look what happened the last time we got above the smooth moving average here. See this? What is the smooth moving average? We're going to talk about that in about a few minutes. All right, I'll bring you into the smooth moving average, and we'll talk about that in a second. Why am I using the 200 smooth, right? Along with the 200 MA. What is it? SMMA, a smooth moving average. And I can't wait to kind of teach you and show you so much today. So I'm going to break down so much today. I don't have any time to talk to trolls. I don't have any time to be negative because I only have so much time to teach today. And I want to teach as many beautiful beginners and experts more things that they've never thought about in their life. All right. And my mind is flowing at how to help you and how to teach you. I love teaching people. So we're going to figure it out. We're going to have a good time. I am probably slightly autistic. I'm out of my mind. Anyway, but that's okay. That's why we're here together every day. You guys are probably just like me in some way, shape, or form. So we move the stop loss to break even. We can't lose the bigger trade. I have another few scalps, but they're small, so I'm not really stressed about them. This is an indecision doji. This trade has not been easy. Thursday has it. You know, we could have just been booming right to the upside by now and taken our trade. Look at last night, though. Look at 1, 2, 3, 4. I called this for you by using the 1 minute time frame and finding when the 1 minute got above the 200. That's how you trade the 1 hour. Look at that, though. It's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, basically 7 out of 8 candles that were green straight. China bought it up all night long, afraid that New York was going to price them out. You see what I'm saying? Despite the head and shoulder, despite how bearish price action looked, despite it falling out, it did fall out of the descending triangle. I was up $1,000 on that move there to the downside. I did open this short. I was convinced we were going down, down, down. Like 90% of the time, this thing. But then I saw us reverse. I saw us get back above the 1 minute 200, and I just said, man, I can't short against my known signal. And my known signal saved my butt again, bro. Like, it saved my butt. Like, it saved my butt last night. Like, thank God I'm a bot trader. Like, I trade like a bot. Like, so this is when, like, you know, okay, we came back, and then when we crossed the 200 and the 21 touched, I said, my mom was like, Sam, this is your golden egg. I said, you can't be shorting this. I said, you have to get out of this. You cannot counter trade your best model. And because I had a model, I was able to get out of the short without any, you know, otherwise my emotions would have been back and forth. I would have been like, what do I do? I don't know how. Da, 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 da. But because I had a model, my model said, Sam, get out. You know, it said do the right thing. Stop playing games. It said you have a logical probability that you figured out over time. You don't need your emotions here. I said, you're right. I said, I don't need my emotions. Like, this is how it works. You have two people in your brain, right? Sam, listen, you don't need your emotions here. You've backtested this. Your subconscious mind has all the data. You know that there's a very high likelihood that price is going to pump now. But the last few times I took the model, I did get stopped out and we've been in chop. I'm confused. But don't stress. Just trade the model. If you trade the model over and over again with proper risk management, you'll be fine. Sam, you only need to win 3 out of 10. Stop stressing. Oh yeah, you're right. Only 3 out of 10. I thought I had to be right all the time, and when I lose, I get all in my head. Stop getting in your head when you lose, Sam. That's okay. Proper risk management. Nail it, nail it, nail it. Look at your P&L over 3 weeks. If you don't trust this, use a demo account first, because that way you won't have to lose money to find out if this is true. Wait, I can use a demo account and go at this probability over and over again? Yes, that's what I've been telling you the whole time. You can use a demo account. Are you kidding me? Yes. So I could learn all this with someone else's money? The ins and outs, how to touch the buttons? I could even create a proper P&L over time? Yes. My gosh, this is the answer. So that's kind of why I got out of the short last night and I got saved. My subconscious mind saved the stupid human that I don't want to call myself the stupid human, but I am the gullible trader. Look it. I'm here. I'm the gullible trader with emotions just like you. I see green candles. I get a little fluttered in the stomach. It affects me. I'm a human being. But I have this logical part of my brain that my subconscious mind has grabbed all this data. And it tells this person that it doesn't know a damn thing and not to listen to the emotions that I have. And then I go, okay. And the more this gets bigger and the more I make money listening to this, the more I don't listen to this. This becomes a joke. So then when my emotions come up and tell me to get out of a trade, I'll catch myself laughing out loud at my desk. I'd be like, and I'd be like, I don't listen to you anymore. You don't run me. You don't run me. You know what I mean? You don't run me. Like, my emotions don't run me like they used to, or like they run 90% of traders. See, they got all of you guys running on emotions. That's how they're able to take your money. They're stealing your money because you can't think clearly, because you go back and forth every 5 seconds. You're long, you're short, you're short, you're long, you're long, you're short, you're short, you're long, you're this, you're that, you're backwards. By the end of the day, your brain is so fried. How many times you've been in and out of trades? And yeah, you throw a few wins up there to feel good, but at the end of the day, you knew you've been chewed and screwed. All right, as I have to say. So learn with me. I teach class the last Saturday of every month. Okay. And I'd love you to jump on in. All right. It is $150 for 3.5 hours of my time. People are paying $300 for 1 hour of my time. This is the closest you can get to me for the longest amount of time to get the most amount of knowledge. I could have chopped this thing up. I could have put a huge ad space behind it. And I might do it one day and sell it for tons of money and buy a Lambo with it. Of course I could. It's beautiful knowledge that I teach gold. What I teach is gold. I have so many testimonials. People take this course and they go, my God, I see clarity. They say within a few days, I see the market differently. Sam saved me. I've gotten hundreds, maybe thousands of testimonials from this class alone. Never mind the thousands and thousands of testimonials from the Discord. The class has blown me away with how many people have helped themselves. So if you're skeptical, it's $150. You know, a lot of classes out there, they're taking the same information that I'm going to give you in 3 hours, and they're going to give you, because I could expand each concept and make it an hour long and go over it 5 times, and then I could create 9 modules at 9 hours, and then I could charge you $3,000, and people would pay. And you know what? It still would be fine. They would probably still be happy, but I realized that I could give you the information at a less expensive price. So jump on in, take advantage of what I'm doing. You know, no guarantees I'll be here forever. No guarantees. You never know. I would take advantage of this as soon as I could. It's this Saturday. All right. A lot of people come back to the class. They take it twice. You'll get a recording. You'll get a PowerPoint, a 9-point checklist that I do before I get into every trade. And look, I may not win this trade. I may lose this trade today. I actually like the 350. On a Thursday, I feel like I should just take that right now. Look, I'm going to take the 350 and I'm going to get back in if we consolidate properly. Let me just see where we're at on the... I don't know, the 5 minutes pretty nice, though. Yeah, I'll just stay at break even for now. The 5 minute looks too good. The 5 minute looks like it could flag out for me. And we'll get into that in a second. Let's take a look at the 15. 15 minutes back above the 200 moving average. And as I said last night, it's all about us not losing it. Like, we can't lose the 15-minute 200 in the 1 hour too, and we didn't. We played with it, but we didn't lose it. Yeah, 109.550. I see no reason to lose the trade just yet. It also broke out of this trend line, which shows strength. A lot of wicking, a lot of back and forth price action here. Kind of a shoulder, head and right shoulder though, right? Look at this. This is a bit of a rising wedge type of flag here. You see it? That's your measured move. That could break out pretty violently. And it looks like a little tiny parabola, right? I could see this do a parabolic move up to 110.7. And that would break this high. Then we could come back down for the retest. Another cool thing that I like to see was this was the high. This was the low. This is a higher high. This is a higher low. We've basically created a tiny uptrend inside of the local time frames. And if that carries through. So right now, you're bullish unless you break this low. So look, I mean, you got to look at this way. And this is trend analysis. You got your high, your low, your low, you got your high. That's higher than this high. Once you make a higher high, you have to assume you'll make a higher low, which you do. Once you make this first higher low, you assume the next move is a higher high. So you should be breaking this high based on probability and trend analysis. You see? If you come up here and don't, you'll make a double top and then you'll break down. So you're either going to double top likely or make a higher high. That's what the charts are telling you. And then on top of that, BOOKMAP has us with the idea that we do go higher than lower because we know that we head to the red that's closest, and that's now 114.50. And I don't make the rules. This is something that we've all looked at together over and over again and has played out over time. So we don't make up this stuff, right? We hang out together every day and we come up with this knowledge. And then we use this knowledge to better ourselves every single day. If it works, it works. So that's all, right? A battle for the minds. So we're looking for this to break out. I'm still kind of sitting in limbo here. And I know I could easily get stopped out. They could wick us. Price action's been sketchy. It takes and that's why a model is needed, because the human mind struggles with all this. It really does. If I didn't have my subconscious mind and all the data behind me, I couldn't make these trades. No way could I make these trades. Impossible. I would be stuck all the time. I would be like everybody else. I would be counter trading the market makers and I would be the masses getting locked out. But somehow, some way, I counter trade retail almost every day. Oh, this is like a bunch of herbs in a little pack from Thailand, and they like open up it's like eucalyptus, menthol. It's great. It just opens you up. Love it. My buddy gave them to me this summer, and I've been using them all the time. Shout out to Greg, man. If you're watching, God bless you, Greg. So I've talked about the trade. I'm in the middle on it. I'm up 300. To some would say that's a beautiful take. Take that. You made 300 off 25. I mean, that's 12%. Like, a lot of people aren't going to make 12% today. Like that's a blessing. Most people are going to lose their money today. You have to remember that. When you win, tell yourself most people are going to lose today. But look, that's the model. You're in a flag above the 200, touching the 21. That's supposed to pump. That's supposed to pump up to 110.5, just to the area we just talked about, and take out this high. So the trend analysis makes sense. We're above the moving averages, and we have my model, the 5-minute touching the 21 above the 200. No reason to leave the trade, like when I logically go over the ideas and the probabilities. All right? Magnifique. I have them in the car, but everywhere. Hey, Sam, I'm currently doing my funded account evaluation. Hoping I make it. Hope will not do much for you, but if you plan and proceed, I think you're going to do great. So plan, proceed, and prepare, right? Use the 3 Ps. Plan, proceed, and prepare, and you're going to be good. Or prepare, plan, and proceed. That's how it really is, right? Prepare, plan, and proceed, and execute, brother. triple PE. I call it the triple PE. Prepare, plan, and proceed, and execute. So, but you'll do fine. But don't say caution to the wind and say, I hope I make it. I don't know about that. I hope I win this trade. I mean, I guess that works. But I'm using logic based on years of data. So hope's not going to get me the $1,000 win today. But if I focus and keep my mind right, There's a chance I am. If you're just joining, I'm in a live trade right now here, $2,400 at 33x Lev, making it an $80,000 trade here on MEXC. If you'd like to trade where I trade, we have links in the pinned comment that show you where we trade, and they're awesome, lower fees in the game. BTCC, one of my favorite exchanges too that I work with, has a big deal today. Let's talk about BTCC. And they have a lifer event going on right now. For the lifers, anyone that uses my link, first you get a 10% deposit bonus on your first deposit, which is amazing, right off the bat, right? And then on top of that, right, so if you trade 50,000, you get 5 USD in trading funds. If you trade 100,000, you get 10,000 in USD trading funds and in volume, right? Which isn't that hard. Like that's, 10 trades at 10,000. Like my one trade is half of this one right now. I'm already earning, I'm at 208, or I'm at 80,000, right? So it's almost 100. I do 2 more trades and that's 10, right? 50 USDT here, and Bitcoin's ripping everybody to the upside. We're getting the pump that we asked for. That's magnificent. Man, that's beautiful. And now everyone in my group is in the money and did not get stopped out. If you took my trade today, you got paid. Congratulations to everybody that got paid. That's unsustainable to me. I mean, that's a pump and a half. But remember yesterday it was a pump and a half and it went out of control the 15-minute. But the further we get for the 200 on a Thursday, it makes me just kind of like I'm about to just take that. Every time I do, though, it ends up ripping out of control, right? You guys see this happen to me all the time. But, I mean, look, this inverted head and shoulder just played out. I just like to sell into the green. Wow, look at this thing flying. Oh, my gosh, look how close I just got. So they just took me out. I just made about $500. And, man, this account just is addicted to growing. It's going to be 40K soon. I'm just going to continue to add. Shout out to anyone that made the trade with me today. Bang, bang, bang. Somebody said Trump pardoned CZ. I thought he was already I thought he was out already, though. Oh, he's on probation or something, maybe? Let's Google that. Did Trump pardon CZ? So one thing I gotta teach you about the smooth moving average. All right, we're gonna get to that at about 11:15. You should get so excited. You should be freaking out for that. And look at Bitcoin continuing to rip. I sell early all the time. That is a ripper. I do have other runners running on weeks, so that's good to know. This trade is running now up 174. I can move that stop loss to break evens, so I can't lose on the trade. And I was growing this mini account. I'd like to see if I could turn $100 into something. You know what I mean? I just want to see. I want to see if you were a beginner and you had $100. So we're going to take this $100 on BitConnect and see if we can turn it into $1,000. All right. It was $90 this morning. It's already 123. So I'm going to teach you how to trade a micro account for the next couple of weeks on BitConnect. We're going to trade a micro account. We're going to try to turn $100 into $1,000, right? Because I want to show you, if you were a very beginner, how you could do it. So we're going to do that live here on BitConnect. This is our first trade at $90. We're going to be super, super anal about every trade. It may take 2 weeks. It may take 3 weeks. If you do it very consistent, it's about winning. Remember, 90% of people are losing. If it takes you a month to make $1,000, you're doing better than 99% of everyone else. Everyone gets depressed. Oh, I only make... It's about the skill. It's about maintaining. It's about continuing to do what you got to do. Look, this stop, we should kind of start to bring pretty close to break even on the trade, right? Dang, I think that's what it is. Jamie, if the whole team, I think people were, they signed in here too, and I think it kicks me out. I think it's from someone signing in. I could be wrong, but I have a hunch. So we could wait till after the stream maybe to check on that. It would be nice. But maybe not. I have no clue. And God bless everyone that helps me. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in and being absolutely amazing. We love you. We care about you. And we're proud to have you here on the show. Shout out to all the crypto lifers that are jumping on in right now, because we know that the market is awesome. There's good volatility. And hey, I felt like retail was getting priced out when we started to pump way too high. Now we're in a pretty good spot. So if we train our brain to believe there's opportunity around us, then there always is. Right? There's 2 people right now getting out of prison. One guy sees, oh, no one's going to hire me because I have a felony, and all he can think about is all the things that can happen. And there's another guy that's like, I'm going to start my own YouTube channel. I'm going to start working out like Wes Watson, all these other guys. And I'm going to do something with my life regardless of what happened to me in the past. The person that believes in opportunity is going to find it. The person that sulks in their past is going to sit there and sulk in their past. That's just what's going to happen. So Bitcoin likely to head to 113,000 is what BOOKMAP's telling, 114K. We've looked at this before. It's been right many, many times. It doesn't mean it's going to be 100%. The odds are very high that it will happen though. Okay. The odds are very high. Okay. So we went over the Bit2Next micro account. Oh, I want to finish this idea with BTCC. So yeah, you can go all the way up to an Apple Watch here. And if you get up to 700 million in volume, you will win a Cybertruck, which is kind of insane. All right. I mean, it's probably very hard to do. I don't know, but hey, you can win a Model 3, you could win a Rolex, a Vision Pro, and the awards just continue to grow if you trade more. So the bigger you trade, the more you could win. And it's for the next month from October 27th to November 30th. So you might make the same trade somewhere else. You might just get a little more for your buck here on BTCC or a chance to win something bigger. So if you're going to go big and you see an awesome opportunity, that might be an add-on, right? And that's all there is to it. This is just the opportunities getting created by the channel. If you'd like to take advantage of them, they're for you. If not, 100% fine with me. You do whatever makes your little heart sing like three little birds. All right? Three little birds sat on my doorstep, swinging seat, singing sweet songs of melodies pure and true, saying, this is my message to you, singing, don't worry about a thing. So Bitcoin, we went over Bitcoin probably in depth. We took you from the monthly all the way down to the 1 minute, back and forth to the 5, 15, 1 hour, and really showed you the brass tacks of what's happening here. This, what I call this an ascending cup and handle. It's when the cup rises with a higher right side than the left. It's an ascending cup and handle, and they play out very similar to a cup and handle, right? It just, they actually tend to go up higher because they're kind of aggressive, right? They're moving. So Bitcoin looking nice. We did get the pump that we asked for. Blessings on blessings. I sold as it came down right in there. And honestly, there may be a chance for me to get back in this trade. So if I have the fear to sell, if I don't have a fear to sell, then I have the fear to get back in, Let me break something down. My mind just made this quick. Back when I was first a beginner trader, every single time I got into a trade, I had the fear of losing because I felt like I lost all the time, right? It felt like every time I got in, I was losing, right? And it just didn't stop, right? It was like this, that's how it feels to be a beginner. Like, it just never seems like every time I open a trade, I'm down. Like, how is that possible? Like, not one's going to turn green. Like, and you struggle and you wonder why, and it really messes with you. And so you get stuck a lot. And then one day you just get out of it somehow. You don't know how. You wake up on the right side of the bed and you make a right trade and you win and you're like, wow. And you're up. And then you're afraid to sell it because you're like, I'll sell this and I'll never be able to get back in again because every time I get in, it never works, right? And you start listening to negative talk. See, traders start listening to negative self-talk. Then you start listening to negative self-talk in other parts of your life. Trading actually can be detrimental. It can go backwards. You can be like a positive person that starts getting in your head in trading and then gets in your head in other things. Trading can be detrimental if you don't take care of it. You see what I'm saying? Because it can make you so obsessed with your mind and then start to beat yourself up when you don't win. And then you can start to beat yourself up. Oh, I'm not at the gym right. I'm not eating right. I know. Look at what I'm doing with myself. I suck, I've been there. The negative self-talk is a horrible habit. And it doesn't stop until you decide it's over. And I decided, I'm not going to talk to myself like that anymore. I deserve to be good to myself. I love myself. I want to pamper myself. I want to make sure today goes well. You know what I mean? So look, I'm looking for this to come back down, get tight, hang out, and that's going to be the next entry. That's going to be a beautiful move. And so let me map that trade out so it's there before I don't have to think about it when it's time to execute. I'm going to go to 112,223. My stop is going to be at 108,549. And we're going to go 3,000 for 78. I don't think so. Let me readjust. Oh, yeah, because I want price. Price action should be coming back down. Technically, it should come right to there, about 109,300, which would make this a 3 to 6. So right now, it's not going to be the right ratio. But at the right time, so I'm thinking this account's been growing really well lately. So I've been risking about $500 to $700 a trade. and that's been panning out. So something like this, somewhere in this area here. And again, I want you to understand something about how I trade. There's $36,000 in this account. You don't see me going 10x leverage full port here and putting $360,000. Like my last trade, right? It was 33x leverage at what, like 2,300 or something like that, making it an $80,000 trade. You see what I mean? Like, I don't have to use the whole portfolio. You see, I barely ever do. This trade will use 2,200 in margin. And I'm not using cross either. So I don't even, they're like, why have this much in the account? Every once in a while, I go very hard. You see? And honestly, I don't even need this much in the account. I could probably take 16 grand that I'm up, 17,000, actually the 20K that I made, take it off the table and start trading with 16 grand again. Turn the 16 grand back into 30 grand. I tend to do the best that way. I don't know why. You know, other than like, I'm going to take this 36 to 100 grand. It gets in my head a little bit as I get to 50, 60, 80. But if I just keep taking 20 grand out of the account and then building it up again, I don't know, for whatever reason, that seems to work better for my mind. I can't explain that. And you might find different ways of how your mind works. We all are very intricate beings, and we all do things a little differently. You know, we're very similar in many ways, but we do things a little differently and intricately. And that's just going to be one of the things. And over time, you're not going to find out any of this stuff about yourself until you really dive into trading. That's why I worry about the AI world, because if AI becomes automated and everybody uses a bot, you're never going to learn what trading could teach about yourself. Let me say that again, man. Wow, I just realized how lucky I was. Because I traded in 20 years before the time of AI. Trading got to teach me so much about who I was inside and who you are inside. Your greed, your wants, your wills, your ability to be disciplined. Can you really stay the course? You could be disciplined for 3 months. Some people can be disciplined for 6 months, and then they do the stupid thing for 1 month and they blow the whole account. You can be disciplined for a year, and then there can be a month where you blow the whole account. That's the saddest thing about lev trading, is if you decide to go out of your parameters, if you decide to push it, you will blow the account. I will, you will, all of us will. I am not, it's like I'm not exempt to this. It'll happen to me as well. You know, just like you. There's no difference here. It's going to happen that way. So I'm looking for this trade. I'm looking for us to come back down, and I'm looking to take advantage of this. Now it's getting to become a 3-to-1. It's 670 for 1711, right? And this is what we want. We want to see this kind of come back into the pocket. So we've already made a live trade in front of you and made gains, right? Which was for like $400. If you made $400 a day, that would be like $2,800. 7 times 4, that'd be like $2,800 a week. You'd be doing pretty good. All right. Anyway, so we made a live trade for you. We showed you another live trade that we have kicking that's got a stop loss to break even. So we showed you how to use proper risk management on top of that and how not to be greedy. So I might not win the trade. So be it. At least I'm covered for what happens, and I already took profits, and now I have a runner. Very important. We talked about taking a very small account up to a larger amount on Bitfinex, and we hope we can do that with this trade. We're going to start small, right? And talk about how big percentages are. Look, that's 25% gain. $20 on $80. If you had an $80 account, if you had an $80,000 account today and you made 20 grand on it, you'd be doing unbelievably well, right? So like, this is not an easy feat to do, to make $20 off $80. It has to be a lot of calculations and math. And actually, we were up further at the time. I might even just take that, because that's how you grow a small account. I do have to look at the only thing about the small account is the fees. That's why I want to see, like, right? Because a big account, you can handle the fees because you're making bigger money. So that's another thing that I want to watch too. It's just, I want to do it. You know, I have to be honest. I don't know what it's like to be the little guy anymore. I have access to large amounts of capital. So this helps me connect with you. This helps me understand what it was like to be back where I used to be. And it resets my mind. And I have so many different accounts. Why not do that on that account, right? So we knew it's a Thursday. So we took profits a little, you know, if it was a Tuesday or Wednesday, likely I would have stayed in that trade and seen where it went. But, you know, I like to take gains in front of you guys too. I think that's important. Remember, when I'm live streaming, I do the right thing, because I mean, I have thousands of people watching me, and you guys actually help me make better trades. You guys help me do better because the scrutiny and the observation makes me do the right thing a lot. So blessings to everyone that watches the channel. You help me become a better trader. I appreciate all of you for being here and being a part of this live stream. It means the world to me. You have no idea. I dreamed of this for years. This is my plan, my hope, once things started to roll. And God bless you all for being here. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. And dear Lord, thank you for the opportunity to be here every day. Help me remain humble. Sometimes I'm airy. Sometimes I'm flashy. Sometimes I get a little quick with the mouth. I know I'm human. I know I have errors. I know my life is blown up pretty fast. Help me remain the same Sam I always was, no matter how much money I make, no matter how much fame I get. Help me maintain my humble nature. Help me remember my mother and my father, the school teacher and the iron worker, and my grandfather as a bricklayer. Help me stay grounded in my life and in my origins. And help me help other people remember that helping others is the true frequency of life. And everything will come from giving and gaining knowledge. Amen. Thank you, dear Lord, for everything you've given me. Amen. So, and I need it, man. I need to stay humble. I pray to God to keep me humble every single day. Number one, like, don't let me think because I have 100,000 subscribers that I'm some special person, man. I'm just a guy that worked my butt off and I'm helping other people. That's it. Blessings on blessings to everybody here on the stream. So let's go take a look at the bigger market cap now for Bitcoin. Oh, yeah. We want to look at the smooth. We got a bunch of different things to look at today. So a smooth moving average is also known as a smooth simple moving average or a Wilder's moving average. It's a technical indicator used in financial analysts to identify trends and reduce market noise by averaging price over a specified period while giving roughly equal weight to recent and historical data. Unlike a simple moving average, which equally weighs all the data points in the period, or an exponential moving average, which prioritizes recent prices, the SMMA applies a smoother calculation that incorporates more historical influence, making it less reactive to short-term fluctuations. The SMMA is typically calculated using the following recursive formula for a period of RR. First, SMMA value often stands as a simple moving average of the first n periods. Subsequent values, T equals SMA, T minus 1 times n minus 1 plus price, right, over T divided by n. This method efficiently extends the averaging window beyond the stated period, resulting in a less choppy line that useful for longer-term trend analysis. So like I told you, like you can trust an SMA a little even more than a simple, because when you move through an SMA, there's big move there. You know, it shows you that there's movement on a bigger scale, really. Like, so like if you take a look at what happened there on MEXC, and actually let's turn this into something really like bright blue. Maybe not bright blue. I want it to be like obvious. Yeah, I have no red lines here, even though I use the 50 for red. Could I make it a gray? I just want it to be so obvious. Yeah, the cayenne is nice, right? So you can see how when we got above the smooth, like a huge, I mean, we were already getting the move, but the smooth, and like, look how we bounced here off of the smooth. This tells me that we could likely get a bigger reversal today. And it starts to make me want to get back into the trade on MEXC, because I know how important and intricate and how high the probability is on this smooth. I might even start thinking of DCAing in here to this trade. The only thing I don't like, let me see. And again, see how minuscule all the risk has to be? Everything is tight. Getting right close to this 200 moving average, 2.87, right? And then looking at this too here at 112,223. We get to this area, 121,164, okay? It's a 2.87 risk reward ratio. I'd like it to come down a little more. Like, I'd like to get it at 19250 personally. Turn that thing into a 4-to-1, or be able to have a little more space below the 200 when I get in. So if you're just jumping on in, I made a live trade already where I took profits on the spike. We nailed it from the entry I gave earlier in the trading group in my Discord. You can join my Discord by going to cryptolifer.com and hitting the subscribe button on the upper right, and it'll take you to this window. You can pay monthly, quarterly, or yearly. We are having a Cyber Monday, Black Friday sale, which I'll be nice to tell you about. So if you want to wait, I guess a month, but if you can't wait, you could jump on in today. We're going to do something pretty awesome too. We figured out a pretty cool way to reward the lifers. So, we're going to hold you down. Anyway, we're looking for this flag to break out on BTC. So I already took live profits. I have a runner going on Weeks that I'm still going. Weeks is a great platform to trade on. If you want to trade on Weeks, it's awesome. Look how I move the stop loss up and down. With the stop loss here, seamless. Move the stop loss right there above my entry. Now I can't lose the trade. It's all about using a stop loss and protecting the position constantly. Not getting cocky, not acting like you can't lose, and not acting like there's no way, you know what I mean? You gotta have a system that says, hey, if it doesn't go my way, what is the worst loss I could take? You know, Mark Douglas, Trading in the Zone, he wrote a book called Trading in the Zone. I heed all my students to read it because I think it's really, really important. I think it'll help you for the rest of your trading career, for the rest of your life, and almost anything. And he teaches you a lot about trading psychology. And the one thing he talks about is how we plan our trades based on years of trading prior, but like every trade is different. And he says that every single time we enter a trade, we're in a different scenario with different parameters, and anything can happen. And we must remain open-minded. You know, and Mark Douglas will teach you that everything is a probability. And what I loved, one thing that he said that hit me really hard one day, he said, traders can't control a lot, right? You get in, you don't know what's going to happen in the market. You have to be honest. None of us do, right? As good as I look as a trader, like how many times I've called the same thing over and over again, none of us know what's going to happen. I know nothing but the fact of my own ignorance, right? We repeat that every day to my students all the time. And I say it all the time because we get cocky as human beings. We have flaws. We have errors. But if we constantly check ourselves, we don't wreck ourselves. That's why it's check yourself before you wreck yourself. That's deep. That's really deep. It means take a look at where you're going. Take a look at what you're doing. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. All right? 100%. You know, this is kind of out. It's putting me out of risk, a little bit too out of risk. I may have to push it to get into the trade. And I may be chasing a little bit. I'm getting a little FOMO. A 2-to-1, 700 for 1,500, 600 for 13, and I may, you know, that would be a big move, though. This is the model. I'm showing the model in the 5-minute time frame. It's telling me this is the trade. Would love just a couple right shoulders there. It could just boom out of nowhere. I'm going to wait patiently and not be greedy, and if I miss, I miss. But something tells me I should start to get my trader instincts like, hey, man, this might just kind of, it might go like this. It might never go back below that 21. It might lift off from here. I don't know exactly what's going to happen. I'm just projecting the sauce here. Okay, moving forward. So I taught you the smooth moving average today and how important it is. Now, you have no idea how to add it. You don't know what I'm talking about. You don't have any clue. Let's teach you how to add the smooth moving average, right? To tell someone something but not be specific is rude. SMMA. And then we're going to type right here, we're going to hit the smooth moving average. I heed you to use it on I use it on the 200. I change my length to 200, source close, time frame chart. Style is the same, you know. I like that we can make it cayenne, right? That's been our thing. Make it a dotted line instead. Funny, and you'll never forget it. You're like, there's my smooth. That could be an obvious way to do it too. Now watch. Once the 1 hour gets above the smooth, let's look at the last time we got above the smooth. We came up, we retested it, we were gone. We came up, we retested it, we were gone. We came up here, we were gone. We came up here, we retested it, we were gone. And we came up here, stayed above it, and we were gone. So you can see almost every time we got above it, it's almost foolproof. Like it almost seems like you don't even have to use the simple anymore. Like you could just use the smooth for I might use, like literally, I could use the smooth for the rest of my life. Like I could have traded this with no indicators, just the smooth and the pattern. I would have gotten right there and put my stop below the smooth and the point of control. Like the more simple you make this, the far more executable it's going to be. You can't execute something with 1,000 bells and whistles. You see what I mean? Like I'm trying to think of a perfect metaphor, but say you had to give a signal and the signal had to be given pretty quick, but you had to hit like 5 different switches and knobs to do it, like, and you always messed it up. But what if you just had to turn one thing and press a button and you could flip it up? Like that's the point of trading. Like trading should get so simple for you that you're not doing 1,000 things. Look, when we lost the simple, what happened? We dumped. When we get above the simple, I'm telling you right now, there's going to be fireworks, and it's very likely we pump up to 117. Like, it just, I can see it. I've seen it many times. Look, I'm showing it to you. I teach you what happens. You guys can act like it's not real. I don't know what else to tell you. Shout out to all the beautiful people. Let's get the likes up to the watchers. The more likes we hit, the more people will come to the stream. I haven't asked for one like. I haven't even mentioned it today. But I would be blessed. And thank dear Lord for all the likes that I do have, man. All you people that hit the like button, you're blessed. That will come back to you tenfold. If I came to your house, I would take my shoes off. You know what I mean? Much respect to you for jumping on into the live. Thank you for being here. God bless you. I even go to people's houses and they say, you don't have to take your shoes off. And I still take my shoes off. You know what I mean? I'm like, what do you mean? Like, I take my shoes off when I enter someone's home. Like, I'm not bringing the outside into your house. What if I stepped on some schmidge? I'm not walking on your rugs. You know what I mean? Like, I refuse to wear shoes in someone's home. Even when they tell me it's okay. I'm like, well, you can wear shoes in your own house. I ain't going to wear shoes. I don't like to wear shoes in my hotel room. Second I get in, I try to take them off immediately and just, hopefully they mopped and sanitized the floor. I get it. It's like germs are germs. But for me, it's more even just about, what if I stepped in some oil on the street or something? I just don't need crap from outside in my house. You know what I mean? Me and my wife have a strict no shoe policy in the home. Some people walk in anyway and just have their shoe and we have to look at them like, hey, can you, it's the awkward moment when I have to be, can you take your shoes off, man? Can you remove your shoes? You're irking me out right now. So, wow, it looks like I got front run by my own signal. If I chase now, too, and I had a feeling I should have got in there, my trader instinct said, hey, that might be the one, brother. I'm spreading my love, bro. I'm doing what I have to do every single day. Thank you for telling me. I love this track. So, wow, I mean, that's starting to look pretty money, right? And that's the signal. That is the signal. 5 minute. It's stronger on the 5 minute than the 1 minute, too. Like, it just has a little more robustness to it. I trust it more in the 5. Whenever the market's really sketchy, I'm saying we should only trade this in the 5. So it's 113,922 now. And it says I can get all the way up to 114, right? That's where BOOKMAP suggests we're going today. 108,749, right? I do feel like I'm chasing a bit. It is Thursday. About to risk what I made. That's weak, though. 2 for 8. Don't be greedy. But a $3,000 move, I'm like, I should be able to make at least $3,000. I make $3,000 on a $1,000 move. Whatever. Some days it's just about taking a little bit and not being greedy every day, Sam. You can't be greedy every day. I'll lose 658. I'll be fine, though. It's a Thursday, though, Sam. Like, lower the trade because Thursdays suck. You know what I'm going to add right now, and then if the trade starts to look better, I'm going to add more to the trade. Like, if we do come back down, I'm going to add at the bottom of the channel. And if I make gains, I make gains. So be it. But I'm willing to make like $800. Which, you know what? So what? Thank you, dear Lord, if I do make 800. I got to start being super grateful, man. I started making so much money. I started getting like, oh, whatever's. And I got to come back down to basis, man, and be like, you know what? $800 is $800. And I really got to just, reset my mind. But when $100 starts feeling like $1,000, man, your life changes pretty fast. I'm telling you right now. It's crazy. And you don't expect it. You don't even know you're going to blow up. You don't know your channel is going to get as big as it is. Like, you don't know the things that are happening. I didn't know anything was going to happen the way it did. I didn't know someone was going to fly me to Dubai and Singapore. In January of 2025, there was no talks of me going anywhere. You understand? It all happened kind of behind the scenes. My manager was talking to someone. Next thing you know, they brought it to me, said, hey, we're going to fly you places. You're going to go around the world, Sam. And I was like, really? I get to fly around? What? I get to what? And they're like, yeah, we're going to fly you first class on Emirates and Qatar Airlines, the nicest airlines in the world. You're going to fly the nicest that you can be flown. Like, you're going to get the highest end service the world has ever given besides flying in a private jet. And I said, really? I got on my hands and knees and cried that night, man. You don't understand, man. I'm a middle class guy. Like, I don't think my dad ever flew first class once in his life, right? I don't think I was on a plane with my dad like 2 or 3 times. We went to Hawaii, we went to California, we went to Costa Rica. And, hey, I was still blessed, right? I got to go to Costa Rica with my dad for a whole month. When I was 25 years old, he took me to Costa Rica and we hung out, just me and him. It was amazing. It was a good time, I have to be honest. Unbelievable time, actually. We're lucky we made it home alive. Seriously. My dad's straight crazy, man. One day I'll tell you guys the true story of my dad. It was insane what happened on that trip. Like, I'll tell you one story. He was at a casino, okay, late at night with there's robbers and killers. This is Costa Rica, bro. Like, there's nice people, but let's get serious. Like, they're running a casino in South America. Like, and he's in there and like something went wrong with the table and like dude tried not to pay. And I don't know, man. My dad just said he rolled the table. Dude's wild out. Like, it's like, they almost put a knife to his neck. It was crazy, bro. And like, my dad is insane. Like, who would, you know, he got drunk and rambunctious late at night at the casino. Like, and they probably tried to pull some fast one on him. He's not stupid, and he caught it. And he was like, he caught them cheating on him is what happened. And he called them out. And when they didn't want to pay, he rolled the table. It's exactly what happened. He rolled the table over, like, or did something crazy, right? Like, and they grabbed him, and I was like, I had to go there and be like, Dad, what? Oh my God, my heart was racing. I thought we were going to get chopped up, dude, straight up. And he didn't care at all. He had no fear. He had no fear. My dad lives with no fear. Like, the guy is a maniac. Like, he is seriously, my dad was out of his mind. Like, he was literally, I thought he feared nothing, man. It was something, you know, he feared his own business. He feared starting like simple things, but he wasn't afraid of the underworld. Like, the guy was, he could maintain himself in the darkest of alleys. I tell you right now, my dad was a warrior. Dude was a warrior, man. It's funny, I went to see my dentist, and he grew up around my father. And my father had passed away, and he was doing my teeth about 1.5 years ago before I left to Boston. He goes, there were no flies on your father. If they were on him, they'd be dead. He's like, oh man, your father was no joke. You know, it hit me so hard, like, to hear someone talk about my dad. And I was like, that's awesome. I love my dad. He was such a warrior, man. I don't know if I'll ever be the man my dad was. He was a maniac. He was awesome. He was a warrior, man. He was a warrior of the light. He'd help anybody if he knew you needed help. When he went to bar rooms, he loved bar rooms. He always became friends with, like, the busboy. He always over-tipped. He would slide him $20 when no one was looking. Hey, put that in your pocket. Don't give that to the whole thing. Don't freaking, you're working hard over here. Or he'd see him outside. Hey, come out for a cigarette. He'd hand him a tip on the low. Hey, take that. You know? He took care of so many. I always saw him tipping waitresses and waiters like way more than he should. He always did it. $40, $50, $60 on a $50 meal. He'd throw in $50 to the waitress. These people work hard, Sam, he would tell me. You know, you gotta respect the hardworking people, he would say. He was an awesome guy. I miss him more than you would ever know. Anyway, who cares, man? I don't want to make this a sob story. Let's get out of that crap. People get freaking crazy when I do that. Bitcoin headed all the way up to 113,000 or 114.5 and looking good. This flag is taking its time, but it's slowly doing its thing. It's slowly doing its thing, right? And honestly, they may have given me an entry here, and now it's a 3-to-1 risk reward ratio. So now it's like, now I can go 565. So look, if I lose the trade, I'm down $100 on the day, $160 on the day. And if I win, I make the $2,000 and I'm in the model. So I take my model like I did last night. And so if I lose the model, I lose the model. I'll lose 565. I already made 400. See the math? So I'm really risking 165 to make $2,000. You see what I'm saying? But this is dual math. Like, this is above the ratio you made on the trade itself, but this is the ratio on the day you're making. Now, where are we on the trade? Another $80,000 trade, 2,400, 33x. Look, I got 34,000 available. I'm only using 2,400 bucks of the 34,000. You don't have, you know what I mean? You see what I'm saying? And you grow the account. If this makes $2,000, then I got 39,000, and then it's so on and so forth until I have 50 racks. But you don't have to go 34 10x leverage, put the whole thing in there. Like, I don't understand. You know, people see big trades, and you have to remember, like, when you see a lot of the big YouTubers making trades, you have to remember they make a lot of money selling their, you know, some people sell courses like me. Some people sell indicators. Some people, they're making big money every day, right? They have a big reach, a big channel. And so when they risk, you know, they go $1 million on a trade or, you know, amount, you have to remember that they can handle the loss. So when you try to be a big boy like someone like that, and you don't have income coming in the same way they do, you know, so don't compare yourself to anybody else, please. You're on your own journey. The only person you should compare yourself to is yourself. You're battling yourself from yesterday. You're seeing if you can make a better trade than you made yesterday. You're seeing if you can execute sharper than you did yesterday. You're seeing if you can make it. And look how long I waited to get into this trade, right? I set it up. I sat there. I watched. No emotions. I used the model, the 200 above the 200. You know, I'm above the smooth moving average, which I just talked and taught you all about. No, you know, we're giving you exactly what you need to survive here. Most people will never teach you the smooth. Most people don't even know what the smooth moving average is, man. They've never even heard of it. Most people have never even heard of the smooth moving average. I'm telling you right now. You rarely hear it. You hear about the XNON, EMA ribbon all day, and you hear about SMAs. But you'll very rarely, what about the weighted moving average? I'll show you so many things that'll blow your mind about trading. You'll be like, what? How institutions trade, they use one line. It's insane. Coin field way, the 50 moving average too is a key one. I've been watching Giggle, but it finally fell out of the pattern, right? And so now I'm like, you didn't do it. You didn't do it for me, Giggle. But you know, maybe it does one of these. And yeah, someone the other day they put this Twitter post out about like how someone will do this and then they'll just change the pattern. And again, you can't just completely change the pattern like whenever. You can't just pick up over here. But what you can do is you can say, well, that did lose trend, but there's a chance it's turning into an inverted head and shoulder. And it's funny, anyone that laughs at anyone that tweaks a pattern is ridiculous. Like they made fun of me. Like literally they made fun of me. Like they came at me yesterday. The guy he showed like a guy that changes patterns and then they wrote, haha, and wrote Crypto Lifer, right? I wrote a rebuttal and I was like, I can't believe I have to respond to these plebes. And I shouldn't have even responded. I had since deleted it because I was like, why am I responding to these people? Like, they're nobodies. You know what I mean? I always go back to Andrew Tate that day when like they're outside and they're like, sir. And he's like, excuse me, who do you work for? And he's like, Bob Disson from the CBC. He was like, oh yeah, you're a nobody. And again, as rude as that could sound, I don't want to be rude to people, but when someone tries to push you around and bully you in a subtle way, come on, man. You're a nobody, bro. Like, leave me alone. Like, don't come at me. You know what I mean? And again, I'm going to keep it super positive, but it is funny how many people, again, I want to teach you when you get to my status, people are going to come at you. Every single day, people are going to come at you. And you got to remain cool, calm, and remember that I'm here to help other people learn. I'm not here to get into cat fights. I'm not here to say who's better, who's smarter. Sometimes I get a little crazy. I know I have to chill. That's just part of who I am, and I battle with it every day. But the idea is, can you help someone with what you know? And at the end of the day, if you can use more of your brain and mouth, and if you're using your knowledge, your mouth, right, how you talk, your ears, your mental aptitude to help somebody else learn, I truly believe God is going to bless you. God is going to help you in a major way. If you entrepreneur, God loves entrepreneurs. You're creating opportunity for people. Of course, I look for Giggle to bounce there, and I wouldn't touch it until it consolidates right there. And then I would be thinking to snatch into Giggle. So the trade is down 150 now, already pretty fast. And that's the entry there. Kind of could have waited to the bottom of the channel right there. That's like the keys. It probably should, I could add to the trade right there. And it's funny, I do this calm and collectively, but this is high lev and very high risk for the average person. Like, okay, you gotta know, I do this all the time, so I'm very comfortable doing it. And I could easily lose in front of you right now, and you'd be like, oh, what a loser. And don't call me a loser when I lose. Don't call me a winner when I win. It's just a trade in my data set, man. It's just one of the many trades in my data set. The BitConnect trade's still in the money, and I'm gonna let that thing run. And when you look at it on the smaller, the 15-minute looks really good. The 50-minute is showing the model. The 50-minute is above the 200 moving average. That's actually a really nice trade. That's a beautiful trade. Because if you lose the 200, then they're stop hunting or playing games, and you can always get back in and lose minimal. But if you gain, you gain. Like, this is, again, a lower risk trade, because you get in here, stop near underneath that wick or that wick. For me, that's how I would do it. You do however you want. Yeah, I'd raise that take profit. Imagine turning 80 into 180. That's phenomenal. And that can be done. And again, that's how we turn 80 into 180 on this one trade, and then we're sitting at 260. I mean, then the $1,000 starts looking pretty close, doesn't it? So right now I'm doing a BitConnect competition. Turn 90 bucks. See what we can do with 90 bucks. All right. So far, we've turned it into 120. Let's see if we can continue. And that's a huge win right there, actually. If you made 39% off your $90 today, you're doing better than 95% of the world. 99% of the world, probably. People have to put trading into perspective. They are looking at they're looking at 2 or 3 traders that make big wins, which are 1 out of millions of people. You have to think my percentages, the one that, like I showed you my MEXC account, 2 out of 11, 2 losses out of 11 trades, 9 wins, 11 losses, 20K and 2K in losses. That's a very difficult thing to do. 3% of the world is doing that. Maybe less. 1% of the world is trading. And then what percent of the world is actually accurate at trading? So you have to remember, like, if you're doing something like that, you're in the very small percentages of people, man. Pat yourself on the back. Like, You know, start like if you made $50 off $50 today, you're unbelievable. You got to really start. You got to really start. You know, building yourself up, and the things you're doing are amazing. Yeah, that was a beautiful entry. That's, to me, the bottom of the trend where the 200 hits could be a beat. That's like the perfect, right at the 21. It almost doesn't get better than that. Like, that's opportune entry. I don't want to be greedy. This count's been going great. So if I get too greedy, I'll start throwing big money at it. I want to keep this account, you know, where it is. All right, let's take a look at the super chats. I didn't get a chance to look at them yet. I've been so enthralled with the stream. All right, let's see what you people are saying. Best mentor ever. Love you, Sam. Shout out to my man. God bless you. Love it, brother. And I'm crying again, man. I love you. And I'm sorry. I don't mean to make people cry. God bless you, brother. Stack McChange in the house. My man, definitely. I've noticed the head and shoulder pattern usually transforms into an inverted head and shoulders or double bottom at a key level. I like that you said that, and I've seen that too. Definitely have to stand on a business as a man. You have to set boundaries. Doesn't make you a bad person. Shout out to Stack McChange in the house. If anything, you prove pattern trading is very profitable. 100%. 100%. Thank you. Shout out to Crypto Plumber. Sam, we take trades 1 to 3 or 1 to 4, but take profits on the pump, not at the target. We can't say that you only have to win 3 out of 10 trades. Don't mean to be negative. Learning risk management. I mean, to me, it's kind of, yeah, but I think so, though. Shout out to Low Key Singularity. I love that. Watching and already subscribed to Discord from Romania. It's Dracula time. God bless you, brother. Thank you so much for coming on in. Recovery saved my life. Met my wife there. Have 2 beautiful boys now. Thank you, God. God bless you, Warpaint. Spread the love, man. Tell people how much you've changed. Can you share what that herbal smelling stuff is on the Discord? Yes, it is. It's a, yes, I will. Thank you. And I don't even know how to read it. It's written in Thai. I can't even read the thing. I have no idea what it says. It's green, you know. Oh yeah, you guys can't see it because it's green, so it comes across as like see-through. Can you share? Yeah, thank you. Blessings on Blessings, Sam. Big love from Thailand. Shout out to Dave Milligan. He probably knows what that stuff is. He's in Thailand. Shout out to Malware Legend. God bless you. Shout out to the 1,680 people here on the live. Can we get those likes up to the watchers? I would greatly appreciate it. I can't see the likes anymore. They don't show them in the same place that they used to. I don't know why. It's strange. Like they changed it. I can see the views. I can't see the likes anymore. On the stream settings, maybe? Oh, on the stream settings, I can't. 600 likes. That's amazing. That's huge. You people are awesome. $20 in chat revenue. Let's take a look here at what's happening. And the live trade starting to play out here yet again. And I can't wait to show this win to my trading group later on today if we get the pump. That's Yao Meng. I sniff it every day. See, he knows. I live in Thailand. Shout out to you, man. Shout out to all my Thai people. Sam, I will put it in the Discord. See, now he will already do that. Isn't that crazy? I just retired to Thailand, Sam, 5 months ago. A lot of you people do. They say it's a really beautiful place, man. My buddy goes to Koh Tao every year, and he stays for 7 months there on the island, and he comes back to New England and spends the beautiful summers with me. And it's been a blessing, actually, my buddy Greg. 109,800 Bitcoin. Strong, baby, strong. We took profits up here on the pump. We got back in on the consolidation. And no fear, you can always get back in if you know how to trade. You don't have to worry about selling. Oh yeah, that's the thing I was talking about. So you can't sell. Remember back in the day, you can't sell because you're afraid every trade goes down. So then you can't get back in either. And so then you don't know what to do. And then so you never take profits. And you're just in this kind of constant, you round trip almost half of your trades. I can't tell you how many trades I used to round trip as a string. I had thought about 10 years ago, I'm swing trading and I'm up 500 back down. Just take the 500 every time, Sam. What are you doing? And I used to trade spot only, no lev. And still, like, I mean, altcoins were so volatile back then that you don't need to trade lev. It was just like trading lev with altcoins. I mean, you could lose $500 in a second or make $500. No lev needed, right? Bang, bang, bang. Good morning, lifers. Best man in all YouTube and all around the world. Best TA, man. Keep it up, Sam. Thank you, brother. God bless you. Sam, could you do these challenges more community commonly so that newbies with small portfolios know how to approach smaller trades and gains? Yeah, man, that's what I'm going to start doing. I had a talk with myself last night, and I want to help you guys grow and learn. Problem is when you do take a loss in a small account, it's devastating. Like if I were to lose $50 here, it'd be like, oh my God, right? So blessings on blessings. Oh yeah, that was the one thing I wanted to talk about too as well. And that's bullish news. I've always liked them. And we'll pop that news out for you in a split second. Bitcoin getting this pump, about to hit 110, about to do damage here, and now we're already up with the trade, right? If 1% is 30%, we make 100. That's gonna be $3,000, right? You see, or 2,400. I mean, yeah. Wait, yeah. So we got growth coming in here. On October 23rd, the U.S. President pardoned Sheng Zheng, commonly known as CZ, the founder of the former CEO cryptocurrency Binance. Zhao had pleaded guilty to U.S. money laundering violations in 2023, leading to a 4-month prison sentence that he completed earlier in 2025, along with a $50 million personal fine and Binance's $4.3 billion penalty. The White House described the pardon as part of ending the war on crypto, signaling a pro-currency stance for the administration. This move came shortly after Zhao publicly requested a pardon amid Binance's support for the Trump family-linked crypto ventures. Reactions on X, formerly Twitter, were immediate, with users and outlets highlighting potential boosts in Binance's BNB token, broader crypto market implications. Some speculated on ties to recent crypto events, though no evidence supported ulterior motives behind the policy alignment. Does that mean he gets his money back? Imagine finding someone $4.3 billion. Like, they got $1 billion to give you. That's insane, right? Someone that doesn't even live in your country. The United States were like, you owe us $4.3 billion for giving services to people in our country. Does he get the $4.3 billion back, right? That's funny, right? I don't think so. You know what I mean? America doesn't like to give you the money back, right? No. We don't do that here. So the whole day was about this flag. We stayed here for 2 hours together, and the flag continued to pump. Had you just stayed patiently in the trade, you'd still be up, but there was a lot of ups and downs there. So you can see why I did take profits when I did. We're in a secondary trade now. We kept the runner running. Everything is going our way. So far, so good. No reason to stop these trades. We're at break even. We're we want to see this thing rip and turn this 900 into 250. This 80 into 260. This would be strong. We could really start to grow that account then. And let's see how long it takes me. It might take a week. It might take 5 days. It might take 2 days. It depends on the price action they give me. But if I keep getting beautiful models like this and they play out, I'm going to keep taking them. It played out last night right there the same way. So if it would load the price action, I guess it's not going to do that. It's so funny. Right when I wanted to show price action, I was like, it's not going to give that to you. I know. So far, so good for Bitcoin. And we're focused, everybody. We're focused. Also, let's take a look at the bot. The bot bought again. The bot bought the bottom again. It bought 103,800 now. So the bot loves to snatch the bottom, man. On Friday, the 17th, the bot got in at the very, very bottoms. And this has mitigated the trade now to the average price of 113,250. And we're close. We're close as we're about to knock on the door at 110 again. And remember, I showed you the trend analysis. I have all the reasons why. You can see I'm a little leaning long right now. And I still know the bearish probabilities. But we take them all together, we mesh them in a ball, and we find out the pros and cons. If there's more bullish confluence than bearish confluence, I trade. And thank God for my model. I can see through a lot of confusion by trading the same thing every single day. And you can too. And Master Friend teaches this every single day in the trading group. If you're struggling, you want to know more, jump on into the Master Friend trading school inside of my Discord, man. It'll change your life. Hit the QR code to find out more. Okay? So this could get all the way up to what? 113,350. That's my target for Bitcoin. That's my local target. That's where we're supposed to go. BOOKMAP also suggests that this is possible with red very close at 113,950. So I should be able to go smoke a cigar, hang out on the backs, tan myself for an hour, and come back to gains. That's what should be happening since I've been working since 7 in the morning. It's now going to be 12. My eyes are burnt. I've had bright eyes in my eyes. I've been staring at the screens for 5 hours. And we've been nailing. My hands are sweaty today. I am sweating out my palms, man. I don't know. It's probably because of the fast. And I haven't had coffee in a while. The caffeine's got me ripping. Are you doing I'll be in the group doing the trades, yeah. I'll do that in the group with everybody together. We'll do it together. Honestly, for such a small account, I really should start to think about taking that profit right now, because I can't afford to take a hit, you know? I almost should move the stop loss to break even right there, but we're just a little too far for the 21. I could afford to take a little loss, but yeah, I could afford a $13 loss, but it would be tough. That would be almost 10. That would be more than 10% of the account. You want to trade this like if it's $90,000. All right, you want to trade the $90 like it's 90,000. I'm going to stick with the script. This would be so awesome if we could get that move. It would really change this whole portfolio. Let's take a look at Forex Factory and see what's happening today on Thursday, October 23rd. And President Trump speaks today at 3 p.m. All right, so get ready for that. And look, because the government's been out, we have skipped all of the CPI and PPI, right? It's all been tentative. But tomorrow it does say we have CPI coming at 8:30, so be careful. I don't see Jerome Powell speaking. It says FOMC member Barr speaks. Trump speaks at 3. Yeah, I don't see that. I don't see that, but maybe you might be right. So I don't know for sure. No, he does not get the $4.3 billion back. That amount was a corporate penalty paid by Binance as part of its 2023 settlement with the U.S. authorities. And presidential pardons for individuals like CZ do not affect separate corporate fines, settlements, or obligations. The pardon specifically addresses CZ's personal criminal conviction for money laundering violations, but it does retroactively refund already paid. But it doesn't retroactively refund already paid corporate penalties. For context, CZ owns $50 million fine from the plea deal is also not refunded, as a U.S. policy generally does not return fines already transferred to the Treasury following the pardon. The pardon primarily clears his felony record, restores civil rights, and removes related legal restrictions. But financial penalties that have been fulfilled remain in place. So, he had a felony on his record in America. Now he does not, right? So, he's been cleared of any wrongdoing. All he was doing an innovative process in a new age tech world. And he was going to grow. He knew the tech was going to outweigh the legal restrictions, because the legal restrictions were based on false narratives from the past, and we didn't even move forward as a human being. So either he was going to keep moving forward, or he was going to play games. All right. And look, the legal framework changed. New administration came in, and now he's free for the same things he did that he wasn't free for before. And it goes to show you, whoever's in power holds the keys, man. No matter what you want to think or say. And shout out to everybody helping me grow on Twitter. We're on our way to 40,000 followers and more. I really appreciate it. We've been getting 100 people a day and more. X is really blowing up. Appreciate everybody. Jump on in. We have fun on X every day. We really do. I post a lot of interesting stuff behind the scenes and some updates and everything that I'm kind of thinking and doing. So if you want to catch a good vibe and you want to hang out and you want to be positive and you want to spread it throughout the day, see where I'm at and connect with me, go to CryptoLifer at CryptoLifer33. Hook it up. Let me post a link right here. Subscribe to my X account. Subscribe to my X account over here. Look at I just did something weird. But X.com, CryptoLifer33. And that's where you'll find me. I love X, man. And you can also, I see what's trending on X. Look, he's trending because he got pardoned. So you say, why is he trending? And you'll see, President Donald Trump is pardoned. Binance founder says it, Changpeng Zhao, who had previously pleaded guilty to enabling money laundering while heading the cryptocurrency exchange. And this is a big deal because it also it's a big deal. To me, it's a really big deal. It's an overall bigger stance. If you're a crypto businessman, we're willing to help you. We're not trying to come after you. Biden, it made you feel like you couldn't sleep at night if you were in cryptocurrency. You know what I'm saying? Because what he did is he connected anyone in crypto that was basically, if you were in crypto, you were a Republican, because Republicans were more pro-crypto. So next thing you know, it was political if you were in cryptocurrency. And it wasn't. Cryptocurrency was never political. Okay? So, not the hot tub, Sam. Not the hot tub. You're funny. Come on in, Vincenzo. Wear your Speedo, bro. These dudes are late to the party. Been following you on X for a minute. Thank you. Thank you for being so amazing. Thank you for being so amazing. Are you kidding me? God bless you. I don't expect everyone to be awesome like you are, but you are. So here we go, man. And again, if you're in the Discord, you're going to follow this trade with me throughout the day. You're going to find out if we win or lose. The odds are in our favor right now. You can see the parabola building. Higher high, higher low. We're expecting the higher high. XNON USD, please. I have a full chart from 2017. And someone says, now it is political. I know. Why is H-bar dumping? I don't know, brother. You tell me. Let's take a look at the live chat and see what's happening. And again, I'm home alone again. And remember, when I am home alone, I tend to always live, because my wife's the one that's always like, it's down. Uplift my spirit, Sam, for real. Much love, brother. Shout out to you, man. You did the same. You're awesome, Sam. Shout out Full IQ under G Crypto. God bless you. Shout out to Stas in the house. God bless you, Stas. Did I just join the Lifer After Dark stream? Oh, yeah, I forgot where we were going before. Sam, you have built a beautiful community of people by sharing your hits and misses and sharing your heart to the world. Priceless. The lifers, the lifestyle. I love you, man. Again, I could lose today. I love going out there on a whim. Every day is vulnerable for me. Every day I could lose these trades in front of the world and people could call me a loser. Every day. Or every day I could win and people call me a winner. I like to walk the plank, man. I'll continue to walk the plank every single day. Shout out to Sergio Mucano. XNON, please have a full chart. Yeah. What you plant now, you will harvest later. 100%. If you want to be successful, start planting seeds of success today. Start building your dream life today. Check out meme holders holding 1K worth Clash. I guess. I don't know. Oh, look at it. I'm not like... Hey, it did bounce off the 786 perfectly. Look at that. I mean, it did exactly what it was supposed to do. So, isn't that crazy? Meme or not, I don't get it. The human race just does the same things. Look, that's 148% gain. And it's halfway back to the all-time high. It's holding so far. This is Crypto RS George's coin, right? Someone just got 3,400 of a buck like a minute ago. They felt like it was worth it. Bitcoin, 110,000. Knocking on that door, baby. And our trades are starting to play out even better. Now we're up about 200 conglomerately. And if we can really grow this $90 account to 260 in a couple days, in our first day of this 990 bucks to not even 100 to 1,000, 90 to 1,000, we make it even harder. All right, let's look at XNON. Someone's asking about XNON. And again, I think alts are still sketchy right now until we can figure out what Bitcoin's going to do. I think he just meant, yeah, he's the Nano guy. XNO, isn't that Nano? Isn't Nano just XNO? Yeah. Oh, but he says XNON USD. It has the full chart. There you go. Yeah. Okay. So let's take a look at it since it came out. So remember, it came out. It was a speculative token in 2017 at like, it looks like it came out at like 15 cents and it went to $37. I mean, this is what I don't think we'll ever get again. This is the cycle that made me all the money. You know what I mean? Like to this day, I'm still living off this cycle. Like, because I got into Bitcoin so early and some other coins too as well. And I don't know if we'll ever get a cycle like 2017 again. I mean, this thing was pennies and it went to $37. Like that's insane. It did like, I can't even. Like it was $1. It was a 37X. It was 10 cents. Let's see really where it was at. It was at like 7 cents, bro. At 70 cents, it was a 10X. At $7, it was a 100X. It went to $35. It did a 500X, man. I'm trying to tell you, back in the day, you could put $100 in a coin and it could turn into $50,000. It was insane the money you could make back in the day. I still see it. And there's still possibilities. I don't want to but I don't know if it would ever be like that again, right? And then fine, it came back down to $99 and it ripped up to 17, did a 17X in the 2021 rally. I don't know if every coin's going to go high again. And I think each time we get new coins, the cycle, but it looks like we'll get somewhere to $7 or $8. I could see this definitely going, a 16X, something like that, 10X. It's still got a beautiful team. It does exactly what it says it does. It's always been online. I've never done deep research, but from what I've heard, I've never seen Nano offline. And it's cheap and easy to send, everybody. Shout out to Sergo, man. It's so funny. I brought this guy up. He started watching the channel back in like 2020, I think. He was one of the first. When I had 500 subs, this guy was watching Sergo right here. And he started throwing me Nano during the stream. And I just showed it the other day. I still have the Nano wallet in my phone. It still contains the Nano that he gave me. And when Nano pumps to 8, I'm going to sell it for like $5,000. And I'm going to buy something cool with it. And I'm going to be like, dude, you just bought me something amazing. It took 5 years. But that's conviction. And that's cryptocurrency. 109,750. Bitcoin getting a little bit of a resistance at 110 again. Oh, we're down $90 now. This trade may not play out. We may get flattened here. You know, we may lose this level and just dump. It's a Thursday. The only thing about today is the Thursday. Trading Thursdays are sketchy. The liquidity is usually lighter than normal, and they'll come and get people a lot quicker than they do on the other days. That's just how it plays out. Lower viewership on Thursday, lower volume on Thursday. A lot of people got wrecked. They started Monday thinking they were going to be the monsters, and they're gone now. They've gotten, every week, people get liquidated out the market. Remember that. They don't make it to Thursday. They don't make it to Friday. They plan on making it that way, but they trade themselves to zero, and they wake up tomorrow depressed. A lot of people wake up depressed and chew themselves through an entire account. It doesn't feel good, all right? And that's important. You know, I connect to that feeling. I understand what it's like. Very important to lose little or less or nothing if you can. Shout out to Benga. Shout out to everybody here. Their liquidity cycling coins, 100% they are. Yeah. Yeah. And shout out to everybody here. It's 12:09. We still have strong viewership. Well past into the, you know, the lunchtime antics. So I'm blessed. I'm blessed. I'm blessed. And thank you. If we could get 1,000 likes, we're at 700. I'm very blessed for the 700. Dear Lord, thank you to the 700 people that did hit the like button. That will come back to them tenfold. Those are classy people. Everyone hit the like button. You're awesome. You're very good people. Your karmatic energy will find you well, my friends. So everybody, I love you all. I'm going to jump on out of here for the day. I appreciate everybody that watched the show today and made it happen. Your attention makes this show absolutely beautiful. I will always be grateful for the minutes that you dedicate to my stream. And remember, thank you for sharing your most precious asset, which is your time. You can get money back, but you can never get your time back. Remember that. How you spend your time is important. Remember that. Everybody, I love you. I appreciate you. I studied the successful people that changed their lives and changed the world. And, you know, they told me the secret to success. Every one of them had the same secret. And they said, listen. And so do you want me to tell you what the secret is? Look, I know the secret to success. Like I do. I figured it out. I did it. And I continue to do it. You know what it is? It's getting started. Crypto is life.